Greetings one and all, it's the Long Con, once again bringing you another action-packed and exciting episode of my antics in the world of tanks. And it is with abundant joy that I bring to you one of my favorite tanks in the game, the British Tier 9 medium tank, the Centurion 7-1. Historically, the Centurions were developed in the flagging days of World War II and never actually saw any active duty in that war. However, they served as frontline tanks for many armies well into the 1980s, and in some way, shape, or form, there are Centurions that are active to this very day, which is absolutely nuts considering this was developed in 1945, and it's 2016. Do the math. The Centurion is perhaps most notably remembered for its role in the 1973 Yom Kippur War, in which fewer than 100 of the Israeli Defense Forces SHO-T variants of the tank managed to defend at the Golan Heights against over 500 Syrian T-55s and T-62s. Absolutely indomitable. And served to set the tone for tank warfare into the 20th century. Now, I don't want to bore you with an enormous history lesson, so we'll get down to the brass tacks here. If you've learned anything about these British tanks, it's that you have to protect this plate of armor right here, the lower glacis. Your ammo rack lives behind that plate, and be damned if you allow enemy tanks to hit you there, because you will lose games left and right and have poor performances quicker than you can count. You have to use the gun depression of this tank and the indomitably strong turret armor, which at the front I believe is 152 millimeters, in addition to an incredibly troll gun mantlet. You have to use all of that armor to, bounce shots. And if you're not playing it hull down on the side of a hill and accentuating all those angles on the top of your turret with that amazing gun depression that comes with this tank, then you're absolutely doing it wrong. Unlike the Centurion 1 at Tier 8, this does actually have a pretty tough upper glacis at 121 millimeters, and you will bounce shots off of that, but the sides and the rear, forget about it. They're not particularly tough. It does get a couple of really amazing guns, though. I'm currently using the 105mm L7A1 Royal Ordnance, which is absolutely epic. It shoots APCR as its standard ammunition for 268mm of penetration and 390 average damage. It also can shoot HESH, which both premium and just high explosive will completely trash tanks with very little armor. But if that's not your poison, you could use the 20-pounder, and you get a little over 10 rounds a minute at the cost of some alpha and penetration, but it is very accurate and aims fast, and is a very good gun. Certainly, once I ground out the 105, I didn't use anything else and won't ever use anything else, but that's just me. You're welcome to do what you like. Now, I've got a game here on Fjords, and this was the first game I played after I completely researched all the modules on this tank and got the Rolls-Royce Griffin engine, which I believe is a boost from 750 horsepower to 950, which is pretty significant. I decided straight away I just wanted to blast straight up this hill, which is about a 35-degree grade, and the 7-1 just chews it to pieces. Absolutely muscles itself up this huge grade and gets up on this plateau. Yeehaw! While the Centurions don't have a particularly enormous top speed, they do have a remarkably fantastic power-to-weight ratio, and the torque that this tank puts out is absolutely mind-blowing. You will never want for power while driving a Centurion. Now, here on Fjords, in my medium tanks, I tend to move towards the north side of the map, as it does allow for some options shooting south and also to help defend against anything that comes through the northern pass. There's a Type 61, which is a pretty powerful Tier 9 medium tank as well, much like myself. He's up ahead of me, and it looks like he's going to go defend the northern pass, so I decide that I'm going to poise myself to shoot south across this field and get some cheeky shots into that flank. I move up to this stone face. Oh! There's an Object 140 pushing in on the flank, but that Type 61's there, and there's some heavies, so I feel pretty safe. I turn and face south. Old Kronos here, the god of time, takes a shot at me, but he must have been seen in slow motion and completely misses. I get one through what appears to be his upper glacis. It may have been his turret ring, but nevertheless, I went through. I pull back, I lose my detection, I pull back forward, the M103 shanks another shot at me, and I get another one straight through the front of his tank. 268 millimeters of penetration, standard AP, or APCR rather, excuse me. Oh, T-71 just went down in a blaze of glory. Okay, I gotta pay attention to this now behind me. There was a heavy tank, looks like a Conqueror, pulled forward and YOLO'd it like a fool. There's an enemy IS-3 ahead, that Object 140, which, oh, the Type 61 snags. But there is still a slew of Russian heavy tanks, including an IS-7, an IS-8, and an IS-3 here. So I pull forward, take some weight off the Type 61, bounce a shot off the upper glacis, I believe from an IS-8, and this IS-7 pulls forward, and I decide to draw back a little bit. I don't want to get hit by him. I don't know what happened to that shot. Hit his tracks, I guess. Bounced 2 shots, one of which came from the IS-7 off of that upper glacis. Reload, pull back forward, drop back. Oh, I just don't want to get hit by that IS-7. Even though my armor's good, I don't want to get hit by that gun. Always want to mitigate what can shoot at you, and with what. I shank another shot at that IS-8. He manages to knock my tracks off. No big deal. He's got a long reload. I can get my tracks back on and pull back and get out of the way. Finally get one through the IS-8, and at that angle through his upper glacis, I'll go through all day. 268 millimeters of penetration. You can count on it thoroughly. Now these heavy tanks to the left are pushing forward, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident. IS-3 and the IS-8 are both dead. All that's left is this IS-7 now. So we want to get rid of him as quickly as possible, as the enemy tanks that were south initially have started to push up behind us. Get a shot through the lower glacis at IS-7. I pull back, I reload, I pull back forward. Take another whack, but I bounce, which is not uncommon with those monsters. Type 61's right in his face, so I'm feeling pretty brave. I pull forward, I reload my gun, get a shot through his side and damage his ammo rack. He's got one chambered, bounces off my side, and the Type 61 finishes him off. Good shooting, buddy. Glad I could help you stay alive there. Now I spin it back around. As I had mentioned, there are tanks that are coming in behind us in the form of an E-75 and an IS-8 and M103. These are some pretty nasty tanks. I don't want to ignore them, obviously. I get into a hold-down position, currently hiding behind this dead tank. Don't have much in the way of shots, and I believe I redeploy here pretty soon and get up onto that corner once I lose my detection. Always good to pull back, lose your detection, reload your gun. You have a very slow rate of fire, and even though I'm using vents and a gun rammer, it is just a hair below 9 seconds on the reload, so you don't want to sit there and be a lingering target for people while you're reloading this gun. Take a shot, it doesn't hit him. Pull back, he knocks my tracks off. I don't take any damage. Pull back forward as my gun's about to reload, start zeroing in. Yeah, just don't have much of a shot on that E-75, but... Oh, there's old Kronos. Oh, and I low roll him. 320 damage, leaving him with nothing. Oh, it's so frustrating with a gun that does 390 average. And you're going to see some hits that come up here that will make you scratch your head as to why that M103 didn't just get killed. Miss another shot at that IS-8 and then M103 a second ago. Just getting frustrated, I think. Got the gun reloaded. Pull back forward. E-75 finally gives up his lower glacis. I get one through. 406 damage. Oh, but I miss an opportunity to take out that M103 again, and he slunks away. You'll notice I always pull back to reload my gun, only coming forward when I've got a shot almost ready to go. E-75 gives me his lower glacis again. I pop him for 422. Man, rolling high now. Pull back, reload my gun, pull back forward, IS-8. He bounces a shot. Oh, 414 damage. Yeah, rolling high. Way to go, L7A1. And thanks a bunch, RNG, for quitting with the screw job. Pull out a little too far, trying to pick up the IS-8 again, and he manages to get one through my tracks and do a little damage through my side. Fortunately, he didn't hit my ammo rack. I drop back a little bit, reload, and finish him off. Now, we tied it up, which is fortunate, but that M103 is capping the base, so I gun it, get on the stick, and start heading back to finish off old Kronos. Yeah, I just love this tank's mobility. Granted, I am going downhill, but be that as it may, the tank just rocketed to its top speed, and it just has such traversability. It's so much fun just zigzagging around on the map. And oh my god, there's some rocks. Just carve right around those. Zigzag through some trees. Don't want to knock those down. Well, except for this one. Yeah, take that tree. Anyway, Yeah, old sneaky Kronos there. The god of time, once again. Or possibly even the Klingon homeworld. Thinks he's going to be sneaky and cap the base, but he's got no idea I'm coming. I'm going to grab him real quick, right? Oh, what? Oh, I hit the hill. Oh, well, he knows I'm here now. Got to reload this gun again. Pull forward. Oh, he clips me, gets my turret. That's unfortunate. But I do finish him off. Finally killing him. Team is still tied. 11-11. Fortunately, Kronos is dead, and I'm still alive. Which means that my gun is still in the fight, and I can continue killing tanks, which is the singular most important thing to do in these matches. Now, I've got a mostly not dead Tortoise and E75 in front of me here, with a nearly dead enemy E75 just ahead. Oh, can I get the killing blow here? I got his side. Oh, but I just can't manage to get through at that angle. E75 finish him. Oh no, no, the GW Tiger finishes him. No, that's a huge kill for the team. Fortunately, we knock out their E75, and this guy, the Jackal, he had a pretty good game if I recall. And if I'm not mistaken, he's got a mark of excellence on his barrel there, so better luck next time, buddy. Yet another E75 in the distance, and these guys are multiplying. There was a time in the game when there weren't a whole lot of heavy tank lines, so everybody wanted to mash up to that E75 as quick as they could get there. Unfortunate for many players, they didn't really learn how to drive tanks along the way, and some people just don't got it down. I try to cut myself off from the E75, go down into town looking for this artillery. Oh, I pick him up. A snapshot. Oh, not enough to kill him, but I get a good hit. Oh no, but I gave my side to the E75. Oh no, this is bad. He could one-shot me now. I totally tunnel visioned in on that artillery. Oh, what is he doing? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? I'm almost dead. He's almost dead. He's gonna push. Oh, he bounces with APCR no less. Oh, I get one into his side. I drop back, reload my gun. I bait him to follow me. He gives up his flank, and I just gun it forward again, swing around him faster than his turret, and finish him off. Take that, buddy. Ah, glorious power to weight ratio. Thank you, Centurion. Fortunately, the E100 on my team managed to finish off that artillery, so he's gone. All that's left is an AT-7, which can equip a 20-pounder, but maybe he doesn't have that gun. I wonder where he's at, first of all, and I wonder what gun he's using. Because he could kill me. I'm effectively 2 shots. Oh, there he is. This gun, though. I'll just go straight through the front of him. Watch. Oh, straight through the front. What gun is it? Oh, bounce. 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 Oh, it's the 6-pounder. Oh, man. That's just not going to do it, buddy. I'll just sit here, reload my gun, aim, finish him off. 18 damage ribbons, 4 kills, and a victory, obviously. Yeah, let's just take a look here at the post-game results and see what's what. Managed to drop nearly 6,000 damage. Didn't get a whole lot of assist damage, but it was enough to get me an ace tanker that round and propel me further up towards my second mark of excellence. You're also going to notice that I bounced a whopping 2,300 damage with this tank, which is crazy for a medium. I only managed to do it because I played disciplined and chose the way that I engaged the enemy. I encourage you all to do the same. This has been the Long Con. I'll see you out there. Happy hunting.